A development group has handed over a standard Kubernetes deployment manifest file. Given that no pre-existing cloud resources exist, what is the correct sequence of actions to launch the application? Here are your options. Option A, provision the Kubernetes cluster via gcloud and then execute the deployment using Deployment Manager. Option B, provision the Kubernetes cluster via gcloud and then execute the deployment using kubectl.
Okay. Option C, provision the Kubernetes cluster via kubectl and then execute the deployment using Deployment Manager. Option D, provision the Kubernetes cluster via kubectl and then execute the deployment using kubectl. Let's break down the core concepts at play here. When you want to run containerized applications defined by Kubernetes manifests on Google Cloud, you first need to think about how cloud infrastructure and Kubernetes clusters are brought to life. Different tools have specific responsibilities, ranging from provisioning cloud-level resources to interacting directly with Kubernetes APIs to manage workloads. Consider what each tool is actually designed to do. In my view, the correct answer is option B. Provision the Kubernetes cluster via gcloud and then execute the deployment using kubectl. To deploy an application provided as a Kubernetes deployment file on Google Cloud Platform, you must first provision a Google Kubernetes Engine cluster. The gcloud command line interface is the correct tool for interacting with Google Cloud APIs to provision infrastructure like GKE clusters. Once the cluster is operational, you use the kubectl command line tool, which is the standard for managing Kubernetes objects, to apply the deployment manifest file. Options using Deployment Manager for the deployment are incorrect because Deployment Manager is an infrastructure as code service for GCP resources, not for managing Kubernetes resources within a running cluster. Meanwhile, options suggesting kubectl for cluster creation are incorrect because kubectl is specifically for interacting with already established Kubernetes clusters, not creating them in GCP. As an exam tip, always match the tool to its exact scope: gcloud for GCP infrastructure and kubectl for Kubernetes cluster workloads.